How jaded has our society become that now we can't even see people fight each other? We have to see actual cities punching each other. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Geekout reaction for a film that probably expected Spider-Verse to not be as good as it did be. Ooh, you can tell that this studio has no faith in this movie. Anytime that there is a movie that you look at and it's like, well, this probably cost like $200 million, but released against another major release, you can tell that the studio looked at it and was like, oh, this is some dumb shit. We gotta put it out at a time when another movie will bury it, and then we can just point at it and go, well, hey, can you believe it? The other movie was just way more popular than we thought it was going to be, or what? Hey, not our fault that this thing completely tanked. Then again, we did not see this together.
No.
I saw this Thursday night. You saw it, like, right now.
Yeah, like, I just got back from it, like, after seeing Spider-Verse, so I think that might have, like, clouded my judgment a bit. Is like, yeah.
Oh, I saw it before Spider-Verse. So, no, you're good, because, yeah, I was like, Michelle's either going to think this is dumb as fuck, or she's going to really like it. So, which one was it?
It was dumb as fuck.
Man, this is kind of a heartbreaking movie,
it's like,
too.
I just, like, got back from, like, the Spider-Verse hype, and, like, during this movie, it's like, wow, this is stupid. Like,
this is a movie that has, okay, what the idea of Mortal Engine is that in the future, mankind has kind of wiped itself out with weapons that were so powerful, it reshaped the planet, and now mankind has built cities that move, and it's like, okay.
Like, basically, cities on top of giant tanks.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it was just so silly seeing freaking London just, like, move around on this.
The beginning of this movie is this little tiny, like, trade village, or like this.
Something like that.
Something like a fishing village, like you would expect, like this little tiny thing.
Just putting around.
Just like. And then, just London just emerges like the freaking colossal titan. And it's like, we have to get out of here. And you just see like this little like shabby thing. It looked like the Beverly Hillbillies van. Because it's like, it's just got like little tiny wheels. And then there's this giant thing that was not meant to be moved that fast. Just like putting around trying to get away from just a massive city just barreling down on.
It's like, wow, this live-action wacky race is sure is something.
Yeah, okay, I see that one. All right.
No, but it's like, and the weird thing is, this city eats smaller cities, so it can fuel itself?
Yeah, because they're like, they travel around, I guess.
Yes.
This is the reason why they travel around, because here's the thing, I swear, I don't think they ever actually explain why they didn't just build cities.
I know, it's like, doesn't like moving a giant city around take up way too much energy and like resources?
Why did you need to do this?
Why?
I mean, if it was like a thing where they like explain like the planet has become so volatile now that like a volcano could just sprout up at any moment, so the entire town has to be able to move away.
It's like
maybe
it's like, oh, like the ground is like too unfertile for like civilization, unstable for civilization. It's like, bitch, there are trees right there.
There's grass everywhere.
There's grass and trees. If you can like farm, you can build a city on top of ground.
Yeah, it's. Not to mention, like, this means that they have to be, like, creating food for themselves in the city itself.
Yeah,
they have to be, like, farms inside the city itself, which is a thing that many scientists have said we should actually start doing it, and I'm actually 100% behind this shit. Get on it, everyone who isn't a scientist.
But, like, we never see any farms inside the cities, but and, like, it's like steampunk, but future steampunk.
Yeah, it's so weird. But like, yeah, I don't think they ever actually explain why they didn't just build cities and why they created cities that move. And there comes a moment in which this giant city of London is chasing down this little tiny city that's trying to get away with it. No. And then it like opens up the doors and just reaches out and
like it harpoons the little city and like drags it in. And like basically it takes all the people out and like forces them to live in London.
Yeah, it's
while
like,
their
guess what?
city gets trashed.
Yeah, it's like, guess what? You just imported yourself into,
like,
you just immigrated into London.
Like, is this like supposed to like symbolize like the British colonization era?
Maybe, I guess you could say that. Yeah, actually, when you consider the end of this, actually, it probably really is supposed to symbolize. There's probably smarter ways to do that.
Yeah.
But like, they just chop up the entire other town and just basically turn it into fuel. So it seems like the reason why they built cities to move around was so that they could just devour the other cities to turn them into fuel. And it's like, why? It seems like you need the fuel to be able to power your city moving. Just have it not move.
It's like, where are you getting the fuel originally before you hunted down all these smaller cities? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing about this movie. It never explains crap.
Yeah.
Anything at all. Like, at the end of this, surprise, I'm not even saving this for the spoiler part, Hugo Weaving turns out to be evil. Shocker. But he is trying to bring back the machines that wiped out mankind in the old civilization to begin with, so that he can use it to attack this other big city on the other side of this wall that's meant to be like a Chinese city, I guess, or basically, I guess, just an Asian city, because you look at everybody living there and it's just like, it's a mix of kind of like everyone that isn't London. Mm-hmm. So
you're trying to break down the wall of China 2.0 or something like that.
That's why I'm saying it's kind of like a Chinese city, because they're protected by a giant wall. So I was like, I see what you did here, movie. But they never once explain why he wants to take them out. Like, do they ever even really explain, like, they're at war or something?
I don't know. In all honesty, I started falling asleep during this movie.
So did I. I fell asleep in this thing, and it was one of those times where, like, you fall asleep, and you wake up and like, and then you look and it's like, this is literally the exact same scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I didn't
miss anything.
I didn't miss anything, but then like they will just have so much random shit come up in here that I'm like, maybe I did miss some important stuff. Maybe they did explain all, man, is this on me? But no, yeah, this is a movie where, listen, the opening of this thing is dumb as hell.
Yes.
But I'll say it was kind of dumb in an awesome way. Just in that, like, I've never seen anything like
exactly. I've never seen a giant city move around on tanks like that.
I've been watching movies for over 30 years now. I've never seen this. It's congrats,
like,
Phil.
Yes. This
Very
is like,
few movies can make me say that.
This is a Howl's Moving Castle bumped up to 1,000.
This is Howl's Moving Castle and Mad Max, is what
yes. No, it's like, I feel like the best way to describe this is if, like, two adults are, like, playing Risk, and then, like, one of the kids...
Flip the table over.
No, like, one of the kids they're babysitting just, like, puts, like, a giant Lego thing that they've constructed on the board. It's like, I'm gonna destroy you all!
And the adults were like, yeah, this is a boring game anyway. Screw it, do what you want, kid. This is actually more fun. Yeah, that is actually a decent way of explaining it. Except that here's the thing. No, actually, when you're playing Risk, you're literally just doing it just to play a game. So there's equal amounts of explanation going into that as there is into this movie. And this is all based on a series of books, and I was looking at this like, this actually might be a kick-ass series of books, but I have never seen a movie in my entire life that suffered so much from the, like, we don't have enough time in this movie to explain
honestly,
all the important
feels
stuff
more like
that's
it
in the
would
book.
be like a better board game. Just like, because like I mentioned, like it feels like Risk but with giant moving cities. So if you have like Mortal Engines, the board game, and like one person plays London while another person plays like, I don't know, like Paris or something. Speaking of which, I think there should have been like other giant cities. I think that would have been cool, like just to see like the Paris just moving around with like an Eiffel Tower.
Oh, well, now you're just describing G Gundam. Which I would be okay with.
In America with like the Statue of Liberty. No, she just like points her torch and like a laser shoots out.
America ain't gonna have the resources in by the time this future ends. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, it feels like this might be a really good series of books because this is an interesting world.
It is.
But they don't have time to explain anything.
No.
And man, it really hit me in like the second half of this film when they get introduced to all these, like, I don't know what they are, but like the sky pirate people, I guess. And you can tell every single one of them has a unique backstory that we're never going to hear in this movie. But yeah, you look at them and every single one of them, like, they have their own names and established relationships with each other and their own ways of acting and like little tiny quirks to themselves. And I was like, I guarantee you in the books, there is so much more to each of them. And that's probably awesome. But man, in here, they're just random people popping up that the movie tells us we're supposed to feel things for. And I didn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's one guy who dies here at the end. I was just like,
oh.
But okay. But what this movie is actually really focused on is this one girl whose mother was killed by Hugo Weaving, and she's got a scar on her face, so she's wearing this red scarf around her, like she's got like an Electra scarf around her mask, around her face the entire time. And she's come for revenge, but this nerdy guy who's been working in the museum this whole time, she tells him right before she tries to escape the city that Hugo Weaving tried to kill her mother. So Hugo Weaving, he's like, what did she say to you? Oh, well, she said that you tried to kill her mother. And Hugo Weaving's not even like, oh, that's ridiculous. She just stabbed me. Why would I? Come on, you can't believe that. It's like, yeah, I know, right? I mean, I've been working underneath you this entire time, and I'm a huge fan, a huge kiss ass. Trust me, man. Trust me, man. There's no reason why I would believe this random person who just stabbed you. No, he just goes, oh, she told you that? Sparta! And just kicks him, like,
it's
over
like,
the
you
edge.
know too much. Boop.
Like, really? Because I think he wouldn't have trusted her at all. I was like, no, just kicks him out of there, and then back in the city, Hugo Weaving's daughter is starting to realize, oh, he might actually be a bad guy. And she's working with this other guy to try and find out the secret of what he's doing. And there came a moment in this movie in which I was just like, who's the protagonist? Like, is it the girl with the scarf? Is it the nerdy guy?
Like, I thought both of them were the protagonists and they're gonna hook up at the end because that's what two people of opposite genders
Oh my god,
can
we just talk about that? Can we just... There comes a moment in here. Listen, I know I should say this for the spoiler part, but I don't care. There comes a moment in here in which the nerdy guy is about to be killed, and she's going, no, please stop. And then the thing that's about to kill him looks at her and just goes, you love him. I was like, no.
Stop that.
I refuse.
Stop.
I refuse. You have known each other in this film for maybe, I don't know, 3 days tops. And you've pretty much just been shit-talking each other the entire time. Like, he's trying to be nice, but you're very firmly in camp, get the fuck away from me. And now you just love him. It is one of the worst examples of, well, we need something to happen, so now they love each other that you've ever seen. Like, one of the worst examples of they love each other because the script said they do. Mm-hmm. It is awful. And my mouth was agape at them. Just, bad.
Bad movie.
Bad. Oh my god, that was awful.
Stop with this heteronormative bullshit. Like,
stop with
forced love interests.
Yeah,
like,
stop with relationship. Because listen, if they were gay, I would have looked at this and been like, well, bravo to you, movie, for having a gay cult and for having a gay lead in here. That also was not a well-established relationship.
No.
This is just forced romance is what this is. And man, it is so forced in here. Actually, forced isn't even the right word, because forced is like when you're just like cramming two people together, just like, no, now kiss. This was just like a light switch, just click.
It's like, well, they're certainly standing next to each other, like that Bob's Burgers meme.
Basically, yes. Oh my god. Yeah, that is what this was. Oh man. But yeah, let's talk about some of the really weird shit in here. And considering we started with cities eating other cities, Yeah, there's just cyborg zombies in this world.
Yeah, it's like...
that was one of those moments in here in which it got introduced. I was just like, did I sleep through when this... What? Because, like, I saw them at the prison trying to break him out, and I just looked at it as like, wait, what's a resurrected man? What is that?
It's like, was that anything established? Like, what purpose do resurrected zombie cyborgs have?
There is zero explanation for it. Apparently, they are people from before the war who our weird science in this universe was able to resurrect, and they have no memories of their past, but they're just like unstoppable killing machines now. They're Terminators, basically. I was like, who made this and why? Or was it the people during the 60-second war that you keep talking about? Because that war was 60 seconds. When did they have time to build these guys?
It was a 16-minute war or some shit like that. I don't know.
60-minute, I think is what it was. But yeah, it's like, okay, so maybe they're leftovers from that, but I don't know.
It's like, is that the reason why they have cities on wheels? So like the cyborg zombies wouldn't get them? Or I don't...
Is like the part of the world that we just don't see at all times is covered in these freaks?
Like, they're just like the city's just mowing down the zombies like grass, just...
It's the only way to get them.
Yeah.
It's the only way to be sure. But yeah, I will admit when, I almost went into spoiler territory there. That guy gave me like one semi-emotional moment in here. That was the most I got out of this entire film. But there's also these sky pirates in here. And there's this like badass like lady sky pirate. And she's like one of the big, most wanted people in the entire world. And she's got her own backstory in there. And I kept looking at her, and I kept looking at all the other sky pirates, and I kept looking at the robot zombie in here, and I kept looking at like this whole premise of like cities on wheels, and I kept thinking to myself, there's a lot of ideas in here that could have made an amazing film. And there's a lot of characters in here that could have made for an amazing film. And they didn't.
Yeah.
They really didn't.
It's like, you have a great premise, but we don't know where to go from there. I've seen that happen like a lot in like TV series and like movies and stuff.
Oh yeah, and it really is a shame because you look at this and it's like this could have been really cool.
There's a lot of potential.
So much potential in here. That's why I'm saying the books might actually be really damn good. But wow, this is an awful adaptation if they are. Because yeah, this has got characters that it kind of reminded me of Jupiter Ascending. It's not as bad as Jupiter Ascending, don't get me wrong. But you know how you look at Jupiter Ascending and you're like, I bet there is a very rich, well-established backstory to all this. And there's a lot of people out there who are going to watch this film and love these characters. It's kind of what this is. I can tell that somewhere out there on a piece of paper, all this makes sense.
Like, are you talking about Jupiter Ascending or like that other sci-fi movie with like the... artificial planet with all the aliens on it. Like, what was the name of that? It was based off a European comic, or?
Oh no! Oh! I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Of. The City of 1,000 something.
Yeah, something like that. That one.
That kind of like that as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking of Jupiter Ascending. But also, you know what? You're right. It's even better for that. Except that. I don't know. I'm still sticking with Jupiter Ascending because most people actually really did not like that. Whatever that other movie was. But you were saying there's actually like a group of people out there who's like, no, I know it's bad, but I like these characters and I like these ideas. That's kind of what I'm looking at with it. It's like, man, I can fully understand. Like, I keep looking at the Sky Pirates in here. I'm like, man, Tumblr is just gonna blow up with these guys if Tumblr still exists in a month. But yeah, I can see like fan art exploding from these characters. I can see so many people just falling in love with these characters if they were good. But they're not in this movie. But you can look at, like, on paper, like, the backstory of, like, the badass leader of all the rebels. And you can look at the designs and the little bits of, like, backstory and, like, relationships in the world that these sky pirates come from and be like, oh, shoot, that actually looks like it's really cool stuff. And you can tell there's going to be people out there who look at that and they're like, this could be awesome. And they're going to wish it was. But this movie wasn't. But yeah, it's not as bad as that Valerian?
That's it.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Valerian. It's not as bad as Jupiter Ascending. But I think one of the reasons why is because I just think that the ideas in here are cooler than any of the shit that we got in those other films. So in the end, I'll give this like, I'm going to give this like a 4, maybe even a 4.5, but not because it's weird. It's so weird because it's not like the entire movie is that like 4 or 4.5. The story itself is like down here, but just all the crazy ass ideas are actually kind of cool. So they're up there. So I got to give them some credit. Like I said, at the beginning of this movie, you see a massive colossal city chasing down on wheels another tiny city. And it's incredibly stupid, but it's really kind of cool. And it's nothing that I've ever seen before. And that's kind of what this entire film is. Really bad, but I gotta give them credit for constantly keeping me on my toes. Except, as I said, I started falling asleep at moments in here.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like falling asleep whenever like the characters were talking to each other. It's like, whenever there's like, you know, a city moving around or anything, it's like, oh, hey, that's cool looking. Or like they're flying around in those space airships. Like,
oh, that's
cool.
Bioshock Infinite,
Yeah, that's the thing. If it was Bioshock, that's great. But if it's just two people talking to each other, it's like, okay, I'm bored. Like,
all the ideas in here are exciting. All the execution is not.
Yeah.
So anytime that is just characters on screen, it's like, wow, I don't like you or care about you at all. There was literally a moment in here in which I was like, well, at least we're getting towards the end of this thing. And I took out my phone. We still had an hour left in this movie. So yeah, no matter what kick-ass ideas you had, you know what, I'm bumming it down from 4.5. It's a 4. It is a 4.
Yeah, I'd say same thing, 4.
All right, a 4? Yeah. I got like nothing in this. No, there's one spoiler thing. Guess what? They rip off Star Wars at the end of this thing. At the end of this thing, Hugo Weaving reveals to lady with scarf on her face, "No, Luke, I am your father." It was like, you did not earn that. I've got hiccups. Sorry. That's what happens when I get passionate about bad movies.
I was like, oh, of course. Like,
it's like, I don't give a fuck. How does that change anything in this? Like, especially because he dies at the end of this, so you're just like...
No, it's like, you killed my mom, but I am your father. I don't care, you killed my mom! Like...
Get the fuck out of here! I don't give a shit!
Like, all the more reason to hate you. Like, fuck you, you left me all by myself? Like...
Wow, you know, it's one thing when a stranger scars my face and kills my mom, but when it's my own dad, double fuck you. Yeah, it did, like, it was not any kind of an emotional gut punch that they won in this.
No.
Also, yeah, at the end of this, Weenie Nerd Boy, like, he takes control of Sky Pirate ship, and
like he comes in walking with his aviator jacket. He's like, I'm finally living my dream, or something.
And it's like, I don't. You established you wanted to be one. Did we ever establish you had training or that you ever did anything? Because like, there's a moment when she has him take control of it to like park it, and she's like, wow, you're a real natural. And it's just like, you could give us some backstory. You could give us like anything on this guy to make us just go, oh, okay, so that's why he can do this thing. No, he can just do this thing.
Because that was his dream.
That's one of the reasons why I'm like, this movie is supposed to be, the girl with the scar is supposed to be the protagonist. She's got the interesting backstory. She's the one who's got the key to all this. She's the one who has the big relationship with the final villain. But he's the one who gets to achieve his dream and gets to hook up with the girl, despite the fact that like she should not, for any reason, have any interest in him.
It feels like a self-fulfilling, like, geeky boy fantasy almost. Like,
it's some, I hate using this phrase, but it's some Gary Stu shit. It really is, because it's like, this guy, it's like, all right, he's smart. I'll give him that. Like, you establish a reason why he would be smart. But you don't establish, like, any reason other than he really wants to, that he can fly planes. And there's literally no reason for this girl to instantly love him, but she instantly loves him because she's the other lady with the most screen time. It's like, all right, screw all. And then at the end, he is, like, make no mistake, he's the one that saves the day in this. Like, I would love to come in here and go, no, because she had the interesting backstory and she's got the interesting relationship with the villain. She's the one who delivers the final blow to the villain. No, he comes in with his ship and saves the day. Then he's the one who comes in and stops the big city from colliding with the wall. And it's like, you didn't earn any of this shit, man. You are, I will lend a hand and do a thing that helps at best. You are the guy who, because you know stuff about this bomb, you should be the one that disassembles the bomb. You should be the one who like puts in the code that stops the bomb from firing on the other city. But literally everything else about this story is leading up to she takes out the villain. In fact, it's like he did come in at the end and like save it by like shooting him down, right? Like that.
Something like that?
Yeah, he like shot the plane.
Yeah,
he shot his ship up. And it's like, that's not how this was supposed to go down. Not because I'm like, yay, give it all to her. It's like, no, because she's the character that actually earned this. You didn't really, like, do you have any real relationship with the other guy other than, like, you met for 5 minutes and kind of geeked out with him and then he kicked you off a thing? That's really what your relationship is. So, yeah, man, it's not good. It is not good, but there's some cool ideas in here, and it's really a shame that these cool ideas are in a not good film. But yeah, that's it. I don't really... Oh, also, early on in this film, when they're giving us the backstory on, like, what happened to the world, and they say, yeah, the Medusas, they were able to destroy the entire planet. But you could destroy them if you had this thing right here. And I'm like, wow! You want Chekhov to walk into stage holding a gun, too, at this exact moment? Wow! Man, oh man. Yeah, it was one of the laziest introductions to the, here's how we're going to save the day, everyone. I'm telling you.
Behold, the Deus Ex Machina!
It's not Deus Ex Machina. It's not. Deus Ex Machina would be at the very end of this film when they're like, nothing can stop this. And then he's like, wait, I invented this thing that can... No, they established the thing that can stop it. It's not Deus Ex Machina. It is introduced into this world.
The MacGuffin.
That's what it is. That's the term you're looking for. Yeah, and it is a lazy-ass MacGuffin. But yeah, so it's not a good film.
Oh yeah, and they reference Minions.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the future, they think Minions were our gods.
Do people even care about Minions anymore?
I don't know.
I'm going just thinking about this movie. But anyway, that's it. Thank you, everyone. That is it. We will be back later this weekend with one more P-Gore because it is the final season of Voltron, so we have to watch that. By the way, little tip to everyone. If somebody out there has not seen something, don't immediately assume they have. I got like a direct message on Twitter from someone going, well, that was a great finale. And I almost banned that dude right there. It's like, that is not how you do this, man.
No.
That is not, like, it just came out.
Like,
and we kind of review movies on Fridays the day again.
Like, if you asked first, have you seen the final series, like a finale, it's like,
that's how it's
You have to ask first.
Jesus Christ. By the way, I'm going to try and watch all of that before I actually post this review because I know that the moment I come in here and say, we haven't seen it yet, my DMs are going to be full of nothing but like, well, here it is. I will ban anybody who comes in with any spoilers for Voltron on Twitter. And if you come in with any spoilers for Voltron in the comments down below, tell you what, everybody, just don't read the comments. Just don't read the comments on this one. I will read the comments because I have to read them to check and make sure that the video turned out okay and see if anybody has any problems or anything. But yeah, for everybody else out there who's interested in Voltron, don't read the comments down below. Don't do it. Don't. I'm letting you know right now. But anyway, thank you very much and come back next time. Bye.
Bye.